there, fellow collector, Shuki here with a review of the Kamen Rider Build DX Fullbottle Buster. So this is going to be a much more pleasant review than the last one, because this is actually kind of a cool toy. There is some very, very big flaws with it, but I at least have some more fun with it than the full rabbit tank bottle. But I digress. Lights, sounds, DX Fullbottle Buster. You got the Buster mode right here, the sword mode rather. Buster Buledo Modo and Buster Cannon Modo. So Buster Cannon mode, Buster Sword mode, straight out of Cloud Strife's arsenal. I digress anyway. TankTank over there, RabbitRabbit over there. As you can see, this is a huge box because this is a huge toy. It's very big. So keep that in mind when you're buying this, that shipping will be a pain in the royal butt. But as you can see over here, you have different attacks for 1, 2, 3, or 4 bottle inserts, as well as a special attack for when you insert the full rabbit tank bottle. And it does have a reader in it, which is really cool. We'll take a look at some of those. I'm not going to play all of them just because time. But Buster Blade mode, Buster Sword mode, right up there. Drill, chainsaws, gear, hammer. There's a hammer at the end. That's cute. Anyway, this was released March 2018 for about 5,800 yen, so give or take depending on when and where you picked it up. So without further ado, let's go and get this open and take a look. So this thing's actually pretty neat in regards to the general design. Like, you have a wrench kind of over here. As mentioned on the box, you have a drill, like a drill bit design going through there. This is labeled as chainsaws. These little like piston looking things kind of look like tops of screwdrivers or something like that, which is kind of cool. You got gears down here, and as the box said, there's a hammer at the end, which I think is a nice little touch. So you got all these little like tools and mechanical bits and details kind of spread out through here. This does take 3 AAA batteries that are in this compartment right there, not included as per normal, but still a pretty neat toy, if I do say so myself. Like I said, there are some pretty big problems with it, but in terms of like form factor, I think it's pretty cool. Sword toys are usually very small and dinky, but as you can see, this one is quite a hefty size. It's still not perfect, but it actually like has a lot of weight to it. The handle feels pretty nice in the hand, and this section is just so bulky with the electronics and the chamber and all that. Like I said, it has a lot of weight to it. It feels nice. It feels like a nice toy. So there is definitely that to talk positively about. So pretty cool. To change the modes, you just kind of hold this part right here, and then this part will swing down like that. That's honestly it. Like, now you're in the gun mode, and you have the trigger right here. Switch it back to the blade mode, sorry, cannon mode. Switch it back to the blade mode. You just bring that back up, and like so, yes. So if you turn it on, you have 2 LEDs right there. They are white LEDs, but it does show the color of the bottle, whatever's inserted here and whatever's inserted there. So it does end up looking pretty nice. But here we go with the blade mode, and I'll try to like fit as much of this on the camera frame as I can. But like I said, it is a pretty large weapon. So here we go. So one singular attack noise, but it does have that cool, like, kind of rhythmic sort of feature. So if I go, it retains when you press the button and the timing and everything, which is a feature that they're putting in a lot of toys lately that I actually really enjoy. I think that's a nice little touch. And it does hold up to 5 presses in memory. So there you go. So there is the sword mode. Again, to switch it to the... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Switch it to the Buster mode. Just flip it down like that. There are no sounds to signify the chain or anything like that, but... Same sounds. Same exact sounds. This toy does not know if it is in the Buster Cannon mode or the Buster Blade mode. It just knows that you're pressing this trigger and it's going to make some boom boom time noises. That's about as far as the toy knows. So it shares the biggest flaw I had with the Drill Crusher, and the fact that the Drill Crusher didn't know what mode it was in. This also doesn't know what mode it's in, so the sounds are all the same, and with it only being one singular attack noise, that gets boring very, very quickly. So that is a little bit of a shame. And that's actually my biggest flaw with this toy. Is just the fact that it has so little attack variations to it. But I digress. We're going to leave it in this mode since we need it in the Buster Cannon mode in order to slot the Fullbottles in. Otherwise, you kind of close it up and then you can't insert anything because it's all closed up. So needs to be in the Buster Cannon mode in order to insert some Fullbottles. So I'm going to raise the camera up just a smidge. And just to get it out of the way, the gears don't fit in the slot. The Crocodile Crack Fullbottle also actually does fit. I lied. Actually, I lied about lying. It doesn't fit. It got stuck. It does not fit fully in here. This little bumpy part down at the bottom ends up getting stuck. So just to try it one more time. Yeah, I'm not going to push it. I don't want to push it. So those two toys do not work in here. Obviously, the Splash Jellies aren't going to fit in here either. But I tried all the Fullbottles I have in my possession. All of them were readable in here. I think there are a couple out there. I think the newly released Fukuro and stuff might not be in here. But all the Fullbottles I have in my current possession were all readable in here. So that is very cool. So like I said, there are different attack modes. I'm going to start with the full Rabbit Tank bottle. Just because I have it sitting right here and it's super easy to get to. So you just take the Fullbottle. Obviously, you're going to want the part with the rails. Again, I have the split just so it doesn't make noise, because otherwise it'll be very obnoxious. So, if we kind of insert it like that. Get it fully in here. Pull the trigger. So there you go. There is the attack noise. And if you press the trigger again, it's just the default attack. So you swing that all the way up. You're going to want to hold down this red button and just keep pushing it through, and then it'll kind of spit it out the front. Not the easiest way of doing this. I honestly really wish, I'm sorry, that there was like a kind of a shotgun thing where there was like a pump and you pushed it forward and it just kind of spit out all the Fullbottles. That would have been really cool, but I digress. Just to show you kind of what I'm talking about, when you're trying to insert this, this starts going off always. Like always. It's kind of obnoxious. So I knew that was going to happen. I absolutely knew it was going to happen. So I'll just kind of let that go. It'll die very quickly. So let's bring in some Fullbottles and do the 1, 2, 3, and 4 attack variations. For the single one, that was a funny one to do. So the LED does look really cool in there, I will say that, but obviously the Fullbottle break, only being a singular one, is not that thrilling of an attack function. It's just like your bare bones sort of attack. Gonna spit that one back out there. So now for the level 2, we're going to do a best match. We'll do Rabbit and Tank, just because this is RabbitRabbit and TankTank's weapon. Gonna fold it into the sword mode just to show you it does nothing special. So that was the full bottle break, and then this one was the just match break. And that is saying like just match des. Des just being the like ending of a sentence in the Japanese language. So I thought it was saying best at one point, and then I thought it was saying like tis at one point, like just dis, like just match dis. I don't know why I thought that. It was really stupid of me. But I digress, that's what I thought. So here we are. And now for the level 3 attack. A miracle match. I like the light show. Yay, booms! So, there is the Miracle match, which is 3 of them. Sorry, I keep hitting the trigger. I can't help it. It's just so hard not to hit the trigger. But, on to the level 4. So there's the ultimate match break. And so those are the 5 different attack functions. Whether anything else is going to come out in the line to amp this up any, I honestly don't think so. But, hey, it does have... Oh, that's very loud, sorry. A lot of functionality to it. Honestly, having the reader in here adds a lot to this toy. If it was insert full bottles and you got the different sounds, then I could see that getting super duper boring. But the fact that this does have a full-fledged reader in it does make this just a smidge more exciting. So you could kind of mix and match your favorite full bottles to get the different announcements. Now, again, unfortunately, it is just announcements. It does not matter if you shove 4 rabbits in here, 4 tanks, orange, bat, cobra, Mahotsukai, Telebi, whatever. The attack noises are all the same. For the full bottle break, the just match break, the ultimate match break, and the miracle match break was the 3. It's always the same thing. So nothing actually ever changes with this toy depending on what you put in. And the full rabbit tank bottle will always be the full match break. So that is kind of like the biggest bummer about this, is the fact that yes, it does have a reader, so that's kind of exciting that you can insert the different full bottles and get the different announcements, but at the same time, the attack noises don't actually ever change in here, so it's not the most thrilling of weapons either. So it's kind of on the middle ground for me. While I think they did a lot of cool things with this by inserting the reader ultimately didn't change much about this toy, so at the same time it does get pretty boring pretty fast, but the reader is fully compatible with all the full bottles I own, so that in itself is pretty exciting. So there is that to it as well. Ultimately, this is a very expensive toy with a very expensive shipping cost due to the weight and due to the size. Like I said, it is a very hefty toy, so you will be paying quite a lot to ship this at the end of the day. So if it's not something you absolutely need in your collection, I absolutely recommend waiting for a sale or something like that. It's just going to be one of those toys that is just really hard to obtain in terms of cost. Think of it like the big Sentai Mecha of a season. Those are always very, very expensive to buy and ship. This is kind of very similar to that, but for Rider. So, yep, it's an okay toy. Just okay. So that about does it for this review. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care, and have a great one. Bye. I'd like to thank Joey, Mr. Mike, Josh, VZ17, and all my fans who support me on Patreon.